I think I saw this trailer 50 times in the theater. I would see it, and then I would go back to the theater and see it the next day, and then I would go back to the theater.
And the next day, and the next day, and the next day.
What's up, Flick fans? James McAvoy's going crazy again. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, we can't look stressed or scared. Just have to go out there and be completely normal.
So basically, you have two families that meet on vacation. One of them's like, come spend a weekend in our nice old country house. But our other family is completely unaware that this nice vacation could soon become a psychological nightmare. This movie is, of course, rated R. There's violence, language, sexual content, brief drug use. It essentially plays like a psychological thriller, a couple of horror elements, and it's based on, it's a remake of a Danish movie from 2022, one in which I was excited to see, but I thought about it and said, you know what, if I see the original, not having seen it prior to this, then I feel like I'm going to draw a lot of comparisons in my review, and so I do plan on seeing it because now I'm really interested. A lot of people say that one leans a lot more into the psychological aspect of it all, not as funny, so that's fascinating that they went the other direction with this movie. I'll see that eventually. So right now I can basically just talk about this one, and I want to start with the fact that there was a lot more humor than I expected in this movie. Speak no evil, there's definitely something going on with this family that it makes you feel uncomfortable, something's off, a little bit odd. If you've seen the trailer, you've had to see it by now, right? If you exist, you've seen it.
And the next day.
Yeah, unfortunately, kind of spells everything out for you. I don't know how else they would have marketed it, but there's definitely a lot in there that I wish I didn't know or see, or moments where I'm like, okay, that hasn't happened yet, so that's definitely going to happen. And yeah, it kind of stinks sometimes when you do what I do, you have to watch every trailer, or if you just go to the movies, it's always playing on loop.
And the next day.
But you know what? As frustrating as that is, and as hesitant as I was going into this film, I had a good time with this. This is pure entertainment. Starts out a little slow, them getting to know each other, a little awkward at first, but once we settle into the story, even though one family hasn't really settled into the environment just yet, it becomes just an entertaining time, really, from the start of the second act on. And James freaking McAvoy, this is full of good performances, to be honest, but he takes this to another level and basically carries moments, not the whole movie, but moments on his shoulders. He's spectacular. He's honing in on maybe one or two of his characters from Split, and he's like, I'm going to do that the whole time, and I'm going to be really weird and then sometimes be normal. And every time our semi-normal family's like, yeah, it's probably a good idea if we go. We got dinner, so let's get on a plane. There's something that reels them back in. There's something that happens, or words that are said, emotions coming from our weird family, to where it's like, yeah, we should leave. I feel uncomfortable. You're making my wife feel uncomfortable, but then let's just stay because we meet a random couple on vacation who takes us out in the middle of nowhere, so why not just stay? Admittedly, some of the decision-making is a little dumb, especially in the third act of this film. One character in particular, I'm like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have done that, or you could be a little more motivated to do some of the right things here. But ultimately, you get why they come back, and there's one drawing factor that brings them back. It's like, yeah, part of me morally would come back too.
You idiot.
Now, thankfully, I mean, everything I've talked about has been in the trailer and the marketing. There are some aspects that aren't, and those are aspects that I thoroughly enjoyed. Again, some of that decision-making in the third act I didn't love, but there are a lot of elements that worked extremely well. Like I said, the inclusion of humor, but also some of the unexpected violent moments, and those moments where the whole crowd is going, ooh, or okay, or just a moment that requires people to cheer. And that's cool. That makes for a communal experience at the theater. But even watching this at home, I feel like people are going to have a good time with it because it's a nice balance of humor and some thrills, some psychological aspects, but also one horrifying situation that you know our characters are in, but it's them slowly figuring out what is happening. And that was the mystery of it all. I mean, you kind of know where this is going based off of that marketing and just based on seeing a movie like this before, not even seeing the original, just seeing any movie. But the way it unravels and a couple of specific plot points, I'm like, all right.
That's pretty good.
That's actually really creative. I don't know if it was in the original. If it was, maybe it's less creative. But again, I haven't seen that. You also have Scoot McNairy, and I'm so happy to see Scoot McNairy. I mean, he's had roles that are big like this, but happy to see him headline a movie that I think is going to be a fun crowd experience. He doesn't headline it, that's McAvoy, but he's close. And Mackenzie Davis, I love her. She's not always in great films, but her performance is always good. Once again here, being very motherly, but also, I mean, she's kind of a badass in this movie, to be honest with you. But there are times in the third act where one character, I won't say who it is kind of scared, kind of doing some things. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that works. Maybe it slows down a bit too often, but then again, we kind of needed those moments where they have those conversations, sometimes a little bit deeper, sometimes extremely uncomfortable. One moment in the kitchen where it's just our two couples and the kids are away, and it's just like, what would I do in that situation? Laugh? Look at memes? I don't know what I'd feel so awkward. And it's awkward. But again, that's kind of humorous. It brings out the comedy. And James freaking McAvoy, man, he plays it so well, makes you uncomfortable, but also scares the piss out of you. Before I give you my score, dropping that thumbs up's the best way to tell me you enjoyed this review, and let me know in the comments what's your favorite James McAvoy performance. And McAvoy absolutely owns his screen time in Speak No Evil, where he puts an exceptional performance on display. The balance between this uncomfortable feeling and a slight sense of humor sprinkled in is one that almost falters, but maintains its momentum until the final frame. While nothing will surprise you, the way these two families interact will provide entertainment and a solid time in the theater. A solid time, probably with other theater goers, if they can stay off their phones. And who knows, maybe they'll play the trailer for Speak No Evil in front of the movie. Please let me know if that happens. Thanks for watching.